Pool deck, our commentary team ready to go too. Thorpe, Gian and Matt.
Yes, bringing back the memories to Paris. The roar in that arena, that La Défense Arena, Thorpe, it actually shook, didn't it?
Well, it was quite incredible that there were two different cheers that we said. There was Allez le Bleu for all of the French that were competing, but for Marchand it was different.
Yeah.
It was Lyon and Marchand, and he happens to have a name that is part of the national anthem. So incredible. It was amazing to see the young man, the Frenchman, be able to do what he did at his home Olympic Games.
Yes, something we will never forget, and we'll get to see him live on Nine's Wide World of Sports during the Singapore World Champs coming up. What will he do there? He wins whenever he jumps in the pool.
He's been training in Australia as well, so hopefully we heat up a little bit from him whilst he's been here.
Can we take a claim on his medals? So here we are, men's 400 IM.
In lane 2, representing Warringah, Samuel Higgs.
Sam Higgs from Sydney's Northern Beaches, Manly way for those that are initiated. He's one to watch for the future. 4 gold medals at the Age Nationals, and his brother Luke has been in action throughout the week here as well. Here's David Schlicht.
So he just missed out on qualification in this event for the Olympic Games. He was third in 2024, but he won the 200 metres individual medley earlier. Sebon Lee and Brendan Smith, we're watching out for the two swimmers that haven't yet qualified for Singapore. And that's Brendan Smith there.
And out of lane 4, Will Petrick. It was hard to be anything but impressed with him this morning, Gian.
And he knows that this is his final chance to make this team. He's got to put in a performance tonight. He isn't on the plane to Singapore yet. So it all comes down to the final night and the final event, which is his preferred event, the 400 IM. Will Petrick out of lane 4 though, the fastest qualifier this morning. He's already booked his spot for Singapore after finishing second in the 200 IM, but everyone wants another individual swim. So expect this race to be hotly contested. We saw different race plan, I think, from Brendan Smith this morning. There was an intensity about his heat swim that we don't usually see. And I think he needed that for a confidence boost for this final tonight.
He's the Australian record holder from Tokyo 2021 when he won the bronze medal.
Take your marks.
One of the most grueling, if not the most grueling event on a swimming calendar on the final night here in Adelaide. The men's 400 individual medley. Good start, David Schlick, lane 6. And Brendan Smith next to him in lane 5. Will Petrick up on the speed as well. Lane 4, Sebon Lee, lane 3. The swimmers that we expect to potentially dominate the finish have all made positive starts. And over in lane 1, Noah Camprad from Bond, also near the pace.
So David Schlitt showing off the skills that he has off the wall, so would have the fastest turn times. It will make a difference here in this race over 400 metres. This butterfly starts pumping the leg muscles, especially the quads, hamstrings coming up on the kick, and you really want good underwater work, which requires the same muscles in the backstroke leg happening now.
So into backstroke. See Brendan Smith, stroke rate is up, it's high, looking very comfortable, however.
And Will Petrick competed in the backstroke events, so he's more than proficient at the discipline. Smith, a noted backstroker as well. Sebon Lee himself participated in the backstroke this week.
They're all doing this with a certain level of control. So they're actually planning their race out so that they don't consume too much energy in this backstroke leg. You will see David Schlitt underwater, great work to catch back up. He's letting go. They're getting ahead in the swimming component of this race. Breaststroke legs coming up. This tests every individual medley swimmer. If you can't do breaststroke, this is not the event for you.
So Smith looks to have just accelerated here towards the back part of this second backstroke lap. Leads by 2/3 of the body length. The transition into breaststroke now. It's Smith leading, Seabom Lee narrowly in second position ahead of Will Petrick.
And that's a great turn from Will Petrick, made up about half a body length off the turn to Brendan Smith.
And that's why Brendan really moved through in that backstroke. The backstroke and freestyle are his two favourite strokes, so he needed to make a move in that backstroke, knowing how strong both Will Petrick and Seabom Lee are in this breaststroke. We always watch for Brendan in the freestyle. The last 2 laps brings in the big 6-beat kick, but he needs to work through this breaststroke leg.
And Seabom Lee is starting to make a bit of a move here. He needs to.
So Petrick again, a fantastic turn. Great underwater work. Finds himself ahead of Brendan Smith now, and he'll need to be ahead because Smith, as Gian points out, is a very powerful freestyle finisher.
The advantage in breaststroke, the lead that you get in it, you add about an extra 50%. So if you're ahead by a metre going into the wall, you're out in front by about 1.5 meters.
So Petrick's taken over here. Best part of a body length as they head towards the final turn into the freestyle now.
David Schlitt just really dropping off the pace there. He had a sneaky look across the rest of the field. He knows what he's got to do if he wants to book a second swim.
Brendan Smith, as you suggested, G, coming back in this freestyle leg, ahead of qualifying time at this stage, coming into 350.
Geez, heading into this margin, Brendan Smith.
Yep. Right here, Will Petrick, he needs another great turn. Great skills, he needs to show them now.
And especially as Brendan will be looking at Will on this last leg. So he'll be looking, watching, and he's an incredible racer. This is on.
Yeah, I thought they're looking at each other in this final 50 metres.
What a fabulous battle. Final lap of the 400 IM. They couldn't be any closer. The qualifying time 4:17.48. So it doesn't really matter the order with respect to Singapore. It's more pride, and Brendan Smith is going to finish over the top of Will Petrick. Smith with a great finish. He goes down to the wall and touches in first position. 4:12.81 ahead of Will Petrick. They've straighted the rest of them.
That was a great swim from Brendan Smith, that last 100 metres, his commitment in the last 50 to make sure that he has a place in this World Championships. With the history that he has in this event on the team, he really wanted to be there. He knows what it means. I have to also applaud Will Petrick on that last part of that. When Brendan Smith actually went ahead, he found enough in himself to try and surge again. To try and do that in that race, any race, it is so difficult for an athlete. So hats off to you for being able to find something extra to give.
We just know that Brendan Smith, not only is that freestyle leg so strong, but given the fact that he was going to be eyeballing Will Petrick down that last lap, he is one of those that is a racer. It's not necessarily someone that you look at and can pace a 400 IM. He rises to an occasion if he's got that speed with him. And we knew from the heat swim this morning that he was primed for a relatively good swim tonight. So knowing that he was going to watch Will, it was always going to be on. What an exciting finish to a 400 IM.
Well, historically, there hasn't been too much between them recently. In the Paris Games, Petrick finished 12th and Smith 13th. And Petrick was a second faster. But Brendan Smith actually brought his time from Paris down by a couple of seconds here. So that's an encouraging sign that possibly the trajectory